All right. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone back to a special Hump Day happy hour show. We
How's it going,
have
everybody?
Black Hexagon with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Cabana?
I am doing spectacular. Looking for the day where we can all hang out in person again. Big K, how you doing over there?
Oh, just fantastic. Just enjoying the day. Just like I said, we were standing backstage, got finished with a nice steak dinner, having a lovely little glass of cab to wash it down. I'm happy to be streaming with y'all.
Excellent presentation, by the way, with the little hand roll there. Nice little cab. There you go. Clockwise, aBit, how are you, sir?
Well, I will sum it like this. Yesterday, a stream happened with Jack, and the community is going crazy. Like, they're accusing me of not being a hexagon and stuff like this, and I want to talk about that. Our team, KSB TV, already knows what I have in my head, but I think today I want to verbalize it for the first time for the community.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. Saying hello to everybody in chat. And Patrick, how are you?
Hello, Cabana. I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to some nice crypto talk with you, like always.
Well, excellent. I mean, we're still, I guess, technically in a bear market. I know a lot of people want to believe we are in a new bull. I think that's, yet to be proven. I think there's still plenty of work to do to make that happen. But we do have like little events today, like the Department of Justice Nothing Burger that was served. Going after, I forget the name of the place now. Bit Slotto, is that what it was? Like that's how big of a deal it was. I forget. I forget the name, but
I haven't heard the name like ever before. It's like the first time I'm hearing about this name today.
Right.
And me as a German, when I hear the name, I'm thinking of Blitzkrieg, and it's probably something totally different. But I saw a 2-minute clip of Altcoin Daily, so I think I'm totally informed now.
That's it. He didn't, don't retweet him or whatever. Hexo might get, mad. But anyway, I did want to pull up this tweet, speaking of tweets, from Alex, who brought up a really good point, and it's exactly what I was thinking. Did the Department of Justice just acknowledge the legitimate crypto industry multiple times even? And that is what I got from the thing, because they really talked about crypto as a real functioning entity that is not going away. And they are kind of like the saviors, protectors, and heroes in their eyes. Obviously, I've seen the great memes about being protected from Bits Lotto, but letting Celsius and FTX and everybody slide by. But it was interesting to me that this did stick out, that they acknowledged it multiple times in the press conference that, hey, this is kind of like a real thing, kind of talking like it's not going anywhere. Everybody, that may or may not be scared about, potential regulation, at least government entities acknowledge that this is kind of here to stay. So any thoughts on that?
So I saw this 2-minute clip, and I guess it's a little bit out of context. In this 2-minute clip, they were talking that Blitzlado were using a KYC process that is not conferable with the legislation. You should have asked way more questions about your customers. That's what they're saying, and they were not asking enough. So the criminals, they knew if we go to Blitzlado and we do our crypto stuff, then Blitzlado cannot even give our information to the government, and that's why those people were using it. And the narrative that I think they are trying to form here, like always, obviously, is that crypto can be used for dirty business. Criminals use crypto, and it's how they, I think, want to present crypto. But then I saw another clip by Jake Sharp, and I love this guy. He says that he is not worried about this kind of stuff at all because he understands what crypto is and that crypto is not going away. In fact, they're actually making the CBDC coin, which is also based on crypto. And in this case, it would not make too much sense if you regulate crypto to death, so you cannot even build a product like that. So this is my sense on that.
Yeah, you have entities like BlackRock, who just last week said, I think it was Larry Fink, the CEO, is just like, look, we want to tokenize stocks, everything in the stock market. We want it on the blockchain, And obviously that's their own version of crypto, but still the technology and backbone of it isn't going anywhere. And I'm sure, obviously they're, into Bitcoin, probably Ethereum and everything else too, that, is meaningful. Patrick, any takes on the big nothing burger of the day, and or at least the government entities acknowledging crypto as something that's likely here to stay?
I mean, I like that one, that part, yeah, of the DOG. And I mean, the DOG, as far as I am informed, is even like rank-wise a little higher than the SEC. So they have like more authority and can do like more stuff. So like when we talked about those papers and so on, it was like, oh, it's SEC, it's not DOJ, so it's still good, nothing to worry about. So yeah, I like that those institutions are acknowledge crypto at what it is, and I really hope that all those cases investigating different cryptocurrencies will be solved in this year, and with the outcome that there is nothing to worry about there, and that those are commodities.
Black Hexagon, thoughts on this?
No, really. Not yeah, like you said, it's kind of a big nothing burger. I'm not really concerned about what legislation is coming down on places that don't have anything to do with me. So
Well put. And Big K, you're muted, sir.
Maybe that's on purpose.
I like precedent. Precedent is cool. Like
yes.
That's, I'm a fan of that, so like, especially in the direction that I like, that part's awesome. Yeah, DOJ recommends, the SEC is not going to, they just recommend things to the DOJ for like, criminal stuff. So like, it's all civilly stuff from them. So like, I think that having the DOJ on, realizing that it's something that is important to acknowledge is cool. So good job.
And I think we also have to look at Richard Hart here in this case. What does Richard Hart has for an opinion on that? And he's saying that something like CBDC is a gateway drug to the real world, right? To the real crypto. I mean, the people will eventually then see, okay, what is the real deal, and then move over there. And just that they are mentioning it today is putting the eyes on crypto again. So that's something really, really that I've learned in the last couple of weeks, where whenever you talk about something, then people will look into it. And if the product is good enough, they will buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like Richard's been pretty consistent with that one, even since before the CBDC thing was a thing. I mean, everyone was worried about Meta or Facebook at the time, whatever, coming out with whatever their the failed crypto project that they were working on. Like everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna, but he was in the same mindset back then that like whatever it takes to, like, you're not gonna probably make mad gains on that, but where it's, get you into the playground to, hopefully find your way there. So good all around.
Next topic, and this is a big one that we're going to spend the rest of the show on, as brought up by Alan last week. Okay, Alan. So HEX in all caps. We are official. You have HEX in all caps here. Has the YouTube handle been changed? And all kidding aside, why do you think it's important, just really briefly, as to have HEX in all caps as kind of like a uniform, I guess, way of seeing it? Is that, am I right in that thinking?
Yeah, well, it is important for me because it is on the main domain hex.com that we should use it as this, right? It is probably just put in there as stylization to trigger the SEO, the search function, but I think it's important for us community to give this respect to HEX and always spell it like this, because this is how the outside world perceives us. How does HEX look in all small letters? It sucks. But how does it look in all capital? I love it. And, I think at one point it will then jump into the people.
Put some respect on the name.
Such a failure of myself that like I was making this comment and my name was not even like this, but I have tried to change it. Is it changed right now on YouTube? I tried to, and I don't know if it's updated right away.
Let's go back. See. Yep, you're good.
Nice.
There you go.
So
good to go. And for those that
Hex
missed it,
and Kevin, let me finish it with that. You should also look at any of my videos into the video description or on KSB TV, for example, like the stylization that we have on hex.com. I just copy pasted it and put it into my videos as well. And I'm hoping it helps the algorithm.
there you go. And for those that missed it last week, aBit was in the chat and saying we should always use Hex with all caps, and his username didn't have all caps, so it was a fun little exchange there. That's all. Big K pointed it out. Anyway, moving on to more real topics. I know Big K, speaking of, you like free coins, and I know the gentlemen below are very knowledgeable on this free coin. They've actually done streams and or videos on it. What do you think of the communist coin? Have you claimed and or played with your communists? And I mean communi. Yes, there you go.
I mean, you know, I never thought I would say it, but I'm a fan of communist coin.
Thank you. We could have just clipped that right there and then been like, "What the heck is he saying?" But okay. Yeah. Thank you for putting the coin in.
Like I said,
and Big K is absolutely right here. You know, so why not? Why shouldn't you be a fan of it? You know, because there is no pre-mine. It's pure code. It's audits. You know, it's no founder enrichment. It helps to incentivize long-term staking behaviors. And I mean, that's the core of all of us here, right? We are long-term stakers. So
there's some trickiness to it that I kind of like. If there's you know, you can think about for a while, you know, that makes it like, you know, sticky. You know, it's not just something you can just easily just pull out. You can dump, but then you'll feel the pain later. So like I understand, like it's nifty mechanics, and I really like free stuff. So
well, I have a question for. In a sense, it's not all the way free, right? It's an airdrop, but you have to pay like a fee on every stake that you have, right? Is that kind of how it works? So have you done the math? Is the coins that you're getting like
it really depends on how much. It depends on how much you're. I mean, I'll be honest with everybody here. I dumped some right out of the gate and was very happy with what with the small amount that I let go. So. I'm not saying that I like it seemed to be good, but I mean it also depends strongly on how hard you staked for how long you staked. You know, so that matters. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you're aware, but Cabana shared the price here, and the price shows like one red candle. So is this you?
It's the big K candles.
No, like I said,
I should have not sold my coin.
I just sold a little bit. I mean, when I get stuff, I like to make sure I get stuff, you know. So I just take a little right now, you know, and then we'll see how the rest goes. We'll see how much.
For everybody out there, it's pretty easy to calculate it yourself or to look it up yourself if it's worth it or not, because actually with the Communis coin, and Communis is just a Latin word for community, you communists here. So the idea behind this that you get a lot of coins in the end of your stake. Yeah, there you get like the most of them, but you can also get an upfront cut of your end bonus when you fulfilled your staking term, which is the start bonus. And then you can just connect with the dashboard. The dashboard calculates how much you would get, you know, from your start bonuses, and then you just click on batchment, but don't approve it now. Just look it up in your MetaMask how much it would cost you, and then you go on Uniswap, you put in this amount of Communis, and then you look it up like how much it would be worth. And if the difference is like huge, then just don't do anything, because the most amount of Communis you get in the end of your stake. And let's say you are a long-term staker, your first stake comes out in 1 or 2 years, then maybe you don't want to mint all your start bonus yet. Just wait until your first end bonus is there.
So
But don't
I'm
forget
really
about it. It's the same thing like with Hedron as well. Now, with only making one native hex stake, you get 3 coins, 2 coins on top of it with Hedron and with Communis, and I like that a lot.
I'm so lucky that I have such a great team. Patrick is down there in every rabbit hole when it comes to Telegram, talks with Kodiak almost on a daily basis. I'm exaggerating here. And I was spoon-fed all the information about Comcoin. And we did an interview with Kodiak, and it went like a little bit viral, I must say. It had at least 5 times the viewers that people normally have on our channel. So this went great. And it shows me that the people are interested. So it is also written in a way where we don't have to rush anything, right? We have to wait for stakes to come due anyway. So I did not do anything, which means also not selling on my side. But I also did not claim yet. I just know it is there, and it's waiting for me.
And another thing to add, like when you want to claim, the best thing is to wait until the Ethereum blockchain fees are cheap. So right now I see 40 Gwei. That's like pretty high. You should definitely wait until they are under 20. And then if you look it up right now, if the Gwei goes under 20, you would just pay half of the fee, which you get shown right now.
A common question I've seen is are these coins mintable like Hedron, in the sense that if you mint it once, your coins keep stacking for your active stakes, or once you do, say, the start bonus, then that was your last chance to do it?
Well, you only get a percentage for your start bonus, and you keep getting coins until your end bonus, but you just don't it's just subtracted from your total. I think the start bonus is. Now,
yeah, but it's not like it's not accumulating on a daily basis or something like that. So you cannot mint it like every month, for example, just once, and the start bonus is going down over time.
No, this is I haven't even thought about that. You guys probably know this better than I do. If you're trying to maximize the amount of coins you have, if you don't mint your start bonus, but you wait till the end bonus, so you get your whole thing there. But you can stake, right? So like, can you mint your start bonus and then stake all those coins and then end up with slightly more coins than you would have had if you just waited till your end bonus? Or does it give you a proportionate? I don't know. How does the staking part work?
You need to have at least one end bonus mint in order to get the 91-day 1.25% staking reward income. So the staking reward only starts once your first end bonus is minted.
Okay.
And then Patrick, since Big K is the big seller here, I think he has a problem with staking now, because you can only stake Comcoin once you minted them. You cannot buy them on the open market and stake it, right?
Well, yeah. You have to do it right at the beginning.
Hasn't the fundamental there.
But you can pull them out at any point in time at whatever amount you want. So that's a nifty. So like they're staked kind of, but there's still kind of, there's some liquidness there. But once you pull them out, you can't put them back in.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the game theory behind it, and it was also not the idea of Kodiak that he allows staking Comcoin from just bought comps, because he wants to incentivize long-term staking behavior, and that's why all staking rewards and all bonus is only coming from hex stakes, and only if you stake like more hex, you can get more Comcoins, which can earn a yield on them.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that, because somehow this does not cross my mind yet why he choose to do it like this. But yeah, it makes sense to really incentivize the native staking, right? That you have to stake native. It doesn't work with an HSI, for example.
Yeah, and I guess looking at the chat, some people have not even interacted with this yet. So perhaps, we just go back to kind of just a very general explainer or pitch for the coin, and I guess Patrick, you would be the best to do that. So this is basically in the sense that I look at Hedron, Icosa, Maximus, like those are all a part of the Hex ecosystem. hex stakers benefit, or they're built around hex, and I think this is one of those coins that falls in that category. So why does this, I guess, is this positive for the hex community?
Yeah, the idea is that it is really positive for the HEX community. So the founder of Communis, Comcoin, is Kodiak. Kodiak is also the founder of backuphex.com, the site which is like another front end for HEX, which is existing since the beginning of HEX as well. And he just saw all those other coins like Hedron, like Icosta, like PulseDoge, and all this kinds of stuff what we got last year. And in September last year, he thought about, okay, but he himself is not liking it too much that this pure lock up phase what we have with native hex staking, that you're really locked up with your money, is getting like less attractive now. And so he sat down and thought about a way of incentivizing the native hex staking again. And then he came up with Communis coin, and it's it's a nice coin with a good game theory behind it, interesting tokenomics. There is no pre-mine, everything is audited. He's like a well-known developer. The Pulse Police guys already looked over the code as well and gave a green light. And yeah, you see how it's formed on Uniswap. You see we have 75,000 USDC in the pool as well. We see a good volume. We see like more volume than total liquidity. Every liquidity provider out there might know what that means. That means like nice fees. And, yeah, what else should I tell you? It's an option that you can stake your Communis as well. You get different boni, so you always have this end bonus of every stake, and you also get a start bonus, which is just an upfront cut of the end bonus. Then there is also something called the restake bonus. So that's like really the incentivizing of the good staking behavior. If you end a stake and if you then restake more T shares for longer, only if it's a 5 stake from the get-go, then the longer is not needed anymore, because it's not possible. Then you can also get something like the restake bonus, which gives you up to 50% upfront of the end bonus. So it's also a way to incentivize, okay, I rather put my hex like for the longest term possible, because here I already get some liquidity, and then with all the native stakes you also get Hedron, so now you have already 2 coins which you can have liquid over the course of the 15 years of a 5555 stake, for example. And then on top of everything, Comcoin can also be staked, but only the parts which comes out from minting bonus. And this part will have an APY, or has an APY of 5%, which is paid out to the com staker every 91 days, 1.25%. And where does this APY come from? It also comes like HEX from the inflation of the coin itself.
And Patrick, when we did the interview with Kodiak, or do you want to finish off here?
Yeah, I'm finished.
I was just
I
looking
like
at a
my own
different
pitch
stream.
now. I'm getting better with it.
I was looking at a different stream, that's why I asked you this. But when we did the interview with Kodiak, we also claimed our Communis coins, right? Did we do it on live stream with him, or did we do a separate video?
No, I guess we did it on the live stream with him, yeah. Because
So
and then we also posted like our ksb.eth address in the chat and so on, and some people used it because he also built in a referral system of just 1%. So it's not like anything huge, but it's there, And our onboarding account already got like some billion com coins only out of referrals.
It was a couple of cents, but I want to answer to Freddy quotes here. You just have to watch the whole stream, and then you know all the information that KSB Line has for you right now as well. And there you will see how we claim that it's really self-explanatory.
Yeah.
ETH gas is crazy these days. You need to catch the right moment. Yeah. Thanks to some certain coins
I
and
think we should all
NFTs out there.
agree with Rizology that Patrick should stop calling it the Comcoin.
I thought this was better than Communist coin.
Yeah, but
it's better than Communis coin.
Yeah,
or
but
Communis
you're
token,
It's fun
actually-
because
so-
there's no
Better
way
for
around it.
who?
So,
KSB line has not seen the memes yet.
Yes, I can't wait for the
Some of
YouTube short
them,
clips.
I guess some of them.
Yeah. But anyway, we're talking about other coins. Obviously, this one is, I'd say, within or part a good part of the Hex ecosystem. But we just also had on the topic list just to talk about, and I know aBit, you'll probably have some things to say about this, is the topic of maximalism. And I don't think that Communis is a coin that falls into that category, because it is actually part of Hex, just like Hedron, Icasa, those types of coins. But we are getting a new blockchain perhaps in the coming months. Definitely probably not 4 more weeks past that, but later this year. And with that comes with it a lot of coins. So I guess aBit, I'll throw it over to you, because there's been a lot of talk and you've chatted with other founders. How do you deal with this topic of maximalism and possibly being labeled as one for even talking to people outside of the Richard Hart ecosystem / community?
Well, I was identifying myself as a Hex maximalist since the last 3 years, and it just happened that I changed my mind in the last 3 to 4 weeks, I would say. It started out with, can I mention those? I will just do it. Pulse Dogecoin making 6 really good numbers for me in my portfolio, and then I put that into ASIC, and it did even better. So this is where I realized, like, if I'm a maxi, then I will miss all of this. I did not miss this opportunity because it was given to free for me. And then I thought, let's use my free money to do all of this. And it turned out great. And then a couple of weeks later, I watched a documentary, Hex Against the Time Value of Money. And that's where I also learned 3 different things. First of all is that we are all not smart enough to know what is an audit and if the audit is any valid and what is a good coin or not. You have to be Eric Wall or Richard Hart to know this. Second of all, decentralization is a spectrum. You could argue that Bitcoin is the most decentralized, but we can also argue that Hex is the most decentralized. So you see, it's not black and white, it's something in the middle. And then the third thing that I realized is by being a maximalist, you're just hurting yourself, because all crypto is really a narrative. The narrative was so great when Richard Hart invented Hex, and people had no idea that a smart contract could inflate by itself, give it to the people, and everybody gets rich. This was a Ponzi scheme back then. And nowadays, every smart contract under the sun does it, is really good with it, and even Ethereum does it. So those 3 things really changed my mind. And then I realized, and this is something new that I want to now bring up. I've never talked about it like this because it seems like FUD, right? Hex has become a big pendulum in my life. I do not want to talk about anything else but Hex. I live in a little resort here in Mexico, and I don't go to the beach. I don't go to the pool. I don't enjoy anything. And I choose this. I want this. I want to talk only crypto, even with Yuri, right? Like, this is what we are doing all day. And I realized, oh man, maybe it's like harming myself. Like, I'm not, active that much anymore. Do not work out, do not eat healthy, because I'm always only on my computer. So I realized it's not too good for me. And that's like how I decided a couple of weeks ago to really open up, try to do things differently, to not talk only about Hex. And I hope that this will just change something. I see that it's definitely paradox that I did the 5555 tour, and that I also say I want this life exactly like this. But on the other hand, it is hurting me a little bit. So I have to see how I will get out of this situation. But I feel like a lot of hexagons are like this, that they are all in, and there are hexagons for 5, 5, 5, 5, just like me. But this also means it comes with some negative externalities as well. So this is my take on it. And if what I'm doing can help other hexagons to be more healthier, to live up to your expectations, then I hope to do exactly that.
Yeah, thank you for that. And really, you two and Black Hexagon have onboarded, you're probably like, if there's a category for it, perhaps there is on like the HEX Cruise, but like onboarders of the year, like you are like top 3, out there. I know, dollar cost is up there and things like that. So, people hating on you aBit is, a little cringe to me, knowing how much you've done for the HEX community. And, just, I encourage people to keep an open mind, but at the same time, I do realize, we're still kind of in the bear, and I don't really think these issues and or these coins may have come about had we gotten a more timely PulseChain launch. So if Richard and team were to have launched this 6 months ago, a lot of this would never have happened, in my opinion, or maybe it would have down the line, and perhaps just on PulseChain, and everybody's in better spirits. But yeah, it's interesting for sure. And one thing I've been thinking about recently is it's a very simple thought, but if I was a maximalist, then I would have never gotten into HEX, and a lot of people out there would not have either. So just check your thinking every now and then, and be kind to those who have other thoughts and interests. Perhaps we're all a big community, and like I said, these fine folks here with me on the screen have been excellent onboarders, and they're still here. So that's my take on that. Go ahead.
You can have the argument of Tangent, for example, where he says, just shut up. Because, like, to come to my first point, where we cannot decide what is a good coin, what is a good security, you have to be Eric Wall or Richard Hart to do so. So what do I know, right? So just shut up. Tangent was making a really good point here. But this is just not me, and this is also not Richard Hart. And everything that I do is because of Richard Hart. I see that he is genuine, that he is authentic, that he washes his clothes in the shower, and he doesn't give a F, right? Like, he does whatever he wants is right, and he obviously tries to do the best for the community. And so I try to live my life like this as well. If I'm doing something and I'm convinced of something, I'm thinking, okay, this can bring value, then I want to talk about that. So I do not do the tangent approach. I definitely want to talk on my YouTube channel about the experience that I have in crypto.
Yeah. If people don't like a
And,
topic or
aBit-
a person, don't watch. Like, just flip to something else. And it's kind of like we fall victim of that here in the United States. People try to like cancel people, for lack of a better term, over something that they see and they don't like, and it's like, you can't talk again, you can't have a show again, and it's just like, just turn the channel, don't buy it, don't interact with it. Okay.
And actually, if we look back, then we also see that Eric Wall missed a little bit of HEX, especially in the beginning. So it's not even like that those genius people could identify like all the things which will have a huge value in the future. And we here from KSB, we know that there is not only one crypto out there. And Richard Hart himself was talking about this 2 years ago. A lot, or 3 years ago, a lot, that there is a top 10. It's not only one crypto out there, and we are just trying to identify which might be the top 10 list in the next bull run.
Yep, I agree. Big K, any takes on this?
No, none whatsoever.
The Black Hexakid, how about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I actually been talking about this a lot lately, especially with my husband, because he does tend to not necessarily identify as a maxi, but he holds strong to his belief that HEX rules his portfolio. Whereas
I'll say that about mine. I mean,
right?
Yeah, I think a lot of us would, but it's just the fact that, you talk to somebody or, look at something else, and then you get,
Yeah. So then it comes to the point of like, are you okay with, you know, talking about it publicly, talking about other coins? Or is it because, you know, Hex rules your portfolio, that's the only thing you talk about? And I just agree. You know, I'll always use the name, you know, Black Hexagon, because Hex is what brought me into the crypto space. It's what made me passionate about the crypto space. But I don't want to miss out on other opportunities, and I'm definitely not going to dismiss the free coins that come my way, right? And when free coins come your way, that makes you more interested in what is going on in that space. So we got free Post Doge, and then what came from that? ASIC, Post Bitcoin. If we just, you know, ignore that, then you don't even realize what's happening in these other spaces. And to me, it's the same with, you know, like the Texan token, which has zero to do with the Richard Heart ecosystem, which I'm a supporter of. Why is that? It's because it serves a different narrative, and it has a different purpose, right? Whereas they are able, with the founders, with the people that are behind that coin, they are able to reach people that I don't necessarily know if Richard Hart would be able to reach. They have a built-in network in the nonprofit space. It serves a purpose that is outside of this purpose. And the only reason that I'm in crypto is for mass adoption, is because I believe that it is a new financial future, right? For my kids, for my grandkids. And that's not going to happen if we just stay stuck on one project. Now, I'm not telling you to go, you know, looking at every shitcoin that comes out, right? But if you believed in the people behind it, right, and it abides by the principles of crypto that we've learned to accept, right? Self-custody, trustless, these kind of no admin keys type of things, then to me, it's worth my time to at least figure it out, so that I too can say, hey, I was a day one over here and I got that 10,000x, you know? So.
And even if you're not like, you know, you do your research and you don't become a huge fan of it, you know, it's okay to, you know, say not, it's okay to not like things. You don't have to go out and trash it or go into other streams or, you know, target other people and be like, you know, your coin is, you know, awful, stuff like that. I would venture to guess and bet, you know, lots of T-shares, pretty much all of them, that everybody's favorite asset on the screen is probably Hex, and probably most everybody in the chat. I'll say it's, you know, it's definitely mine far and away. But, and I think the prospect of PulseChain, whenever 4 more weeks, months, what have you, comes along, I think, and I've said this since the beginning, it's healthy to talk about other coins, maybe not do whole shows about them or whatever, but at least not ignore them, because if you're into PulseChain, and or PulseX, you know, these coins will kind of, you know, affect you in a little way. Like PulseChain is the playground, you know, Hex is the coolest toy. We have that now, but PulseChain is going to be the coolest playground where everybody gets to play. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you have some Texan or Liquid Loans or Hedron, you know, whatever it is, Pulse Doge, ASIC, Pulse Bitcoin, you know, they're all going to be over there. So,
and then there's something else that comes with being a maximalist, right? Sometimes the emotions take over. So this vampire was saying something negative about our age, and then I was like really emotional using a hashtag, what a piece of shit. And then a couple of days later, I was
we
making
need to
this
get that trending
interview with him. So I was looking totally stupid, you know, just because I did that. And this is just another validation for me that maximalism doesn't look good on you. Or now, right now, I have the other side, right? So people are hating on me, for example. They're blocking me left and right, and then they are still talking about me, right? So I cannot see what they're saying. It just says this person is like, it doesn't show, whatever. And I'm thinking, well, this is weak. You know, this is looking now weak, really weak for them, because they're talking behind my back, and they're even afraid that I see it. Basically, this is how it looks to me if somebody blocks me and then still talks about me, you know?
Yep. Patrick, any thoughts?
No, all good. I mean, my base layer, or our base layer, is still like Richard Hart ecosystem, and it's still Hex. And I can also state that I am on my personal T-share all-time high. So it's not like that I abandoned Hex or something like that. But you know, I also don't like this maximalism thing anymore, because we need to open up a little bit. It was good to have that in the end of 2019 and in 2020 actually, because we were already starting a bull market, you know, and usually in a bull market there is not much coming out which keeps like the value or something like that. Usually the best products come out in a bear market and not in a bull market. So it was really good to stay focused only with Hex, to not get distracted by any of the copies like Hexy or Wise or all these shit coins which came like left and right. But this year that changed a little bit, and also like I mean this year 2021 it already changed a little bit, because Richard himself was like, guys, let's create a crypto portfolio in our portfolio and not only like one coin to rule them all, because he came up with the sacrifice phase and with PulseChain, then he came up with PulseX, then he came up with an incentive token, you know, and then Alex came up with Hedron, and then with iCosta, you know, then Hex Info came up with Pulse Doge and with ASIC and Pulse Bitcoin later, then Kodiak came up with Communis coin and so on. So it's like that Richard showed us in the first place, you know, guys, open up. We need to get to a crypto portfolio in order to onboard the whole world, because there are different narratives which work for different people. Some like this more, some like that more. And yes, it's all about getting people to hold their own private keys, to be their own bank. That what KSB is about, you know, the education about how to be your own bank.
Maybe we can bring up what Freddy Quotes is saying here. He's saying Zen down and to the right forever. You know, it is not really negative. It's just the fact that chart looks awful. And we Hexicans love to buy a good chart. We have the best chart in crypto. And that's why we laugh at Zen. But now I have talked to people and they told me what they are doing with Zen and how everything works out and so on. And that when their coins come out, even though Zen is down like minus 10,000x, they can still sell and are in profit because they just have so much Zen from the minting. So even though you are not saying something negative here, it just looks stupid to somebody who knows the truth. And that's why maximalism like doesn't serve us well, I believe. And we should go away from this. Like Hexline is saying, it was really good in the bull market. It was protecting us. But now in the bear, maybe we should look where the narrative is changing. And here Crypto 7 comes in again, really, really handy, because he's saying the narrative will flip again. Richard Hart was delaying or was waiting like we all on PulseChain, and maybe this made the sentiment of the hex price go down a little bit, but this will change when PulseChain is out. It's the perfect product again. It's product market fit. It's something that whole crypto has waited for, and then I think we will see green candles of PulseChain, and everything will be good.
Yeah, it's funny what a few big green candles will do, and like you said, once that happens, I think a lot of this will go by the wayside. I did want to bring up this thread. Hexo started it, and he was like, yeah, is there any Hex-only people anymore? So this is kind of on topic, haha. But Motley Investor, my man here, he had a good follow-up thread to this. And he made some good points here. So he's like, Richard's failure to launch in a somewhat timely fashion and radio silence has left a void for some opportunists. Unfortunately, that being said, Ethereum will do amazing next cycle, and it's a nice crypto hedge. Anybody in chat hedging with Ethereum? I have a stack, so just wanted to ask you that. I also think there are a few founders that are working to boost the Richard Hart ecosystem and make it more successful. Alex and Buck Fiat, or some of those founders that I personally invested in, and I think will be the most beneficial to Hex/PulseChain. And obviously, there will always be more bad actors than good ones. Even ones with good intentions have a high probability of failing. You also have people who want to play the influencer game. Most of us from the beginning are unwilling to play that game, which is okay. Let others play that game, and it will ultimately lead people back to Hex. Lastly, there are outright scams that prey on our own community. They should be immediately brought down to protect the community. Final thoughts. Motley says, for me, it's not as cut and dry as Richard Hart or nothing. I also don't give into this kumbaya welcome all crypto garbage, because PulseChain narrative, there's always nuance in between these black and white positions. So yes, proceed
like the last
accordingly.
post, yeah.
Yeah, with your crypto is what he's saying. I guess gets a little bit into what I was saying is like keep an open mind with PulseChain, but I do agree with this point. It's like, in the end, it's up to you to DYOR and do what is comfortable and right for your own portfolio.
And then
And
there's
for
also
example,
something.
for not just one thing. For example, with KSB, we did research over 40 coins in 2022, and only a few of those, got like really our attention, where we invited the founder for an interview and something like that. So there is about over 30 projects where we didn't invite the founder, and where we thought, okay, yeah, maybe we take the free money, but that's it,
Yep, that's it. Big K, any thoughts?
I agree with that. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, again, just in sentiment, we've talked about this before, that the narrative has to change in some regards when you're launching a blockchain that is supposed to have a lot of other projects, users, hopefully people, traffic, volume, that kind of thing. So like, you have to have somewhat of an open mind, and I do. That doesn't change the fact that we've said whatever the Pulse hot list, there's a lot of projects on there, and like I can count on two hands how many I'm actually interested in. Maybe two, and that's just barely. So like,
it's like one hand for me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's maybe 5 or 6 projects that I think have any sort of real merit, and that's tough. But again, it's like I'm not telling people to not build things. I think building things is cool. I think free coins is awesome. I think trying stuff is a good idea. Hopefully they're well thought out things. Hopefully people aren't just throwing shit together. And everyone out there having any sort of like knowledge on this, it's good to do that, to do the research and make sure you've done, you'll go through 40 coins and I'll go through 40 coins before and find 0 that were good, it's tough out there. I mean, most businesses fail. So it's not like this is even harder than selling, shit at the mall, so like it's, like most businesses at the mall fail. And if you're running a mall, you're not going to be like, fidget spinners, terrible idea, not going to rent you a space. No, you're going to take the money and let them rent the space and hope they do well. But it's not to say that you have to, get involved with everything, but like keep an open mind, because like there are good. Thank you, Brasology.
Freddie
There's
quotes,
a few.
is that 1inch.io?
Zing.
Hey,
to continue on what
you guys are rowdy in happy hour.
to continue on what Big K here was saying. So this is the reason why Richard Hart says we get rid of scams by not talking about them, right? We do not want to give them any attention because some people will click and then buy it. And here I want to mention what Blaney1 is saying. Jake trashing the OA and PLS is not good for adoption, aBit HEX. And here, guys, watch the documentary Hexicans and the Time Value of Money, especially in the 4th episode. Tom Gillespie is saying something really important. Or maybe it was Eric Wall, I do not know. Richard Hart is the smartest guy in crypto. Why? Because he has understood what is the only thing that matters in crypto is that people buy a coin and then they hold on to it and talk about it. Like, that's why he does this outrage marketing. So the vampire attacking Richard and the OA, and it doesn't matter what he says, is bringing some attention to HEX. Smart money will look at Richard Hart and HEX, sees how beautiful it is designed, and then buys it. Maybe right now it's counterintuitive, but in the long run it will help HEX, because HEX is the perfect product. We do not have to worry about anything. We do not have to worry about those vampire attacks. We do not have to worry about the SEC, for example, regulating, because we have the perfect product. So a lot of drama is just in our own mind.
And honestly, I think that the check makes a valid point here. So it's not like that, oh, you're just like trash talking or just like Fatster or something like that. It's a valid argument. It's like, why not, for example?
I mean,
I think somebody was saying
always-
it in Hexo's thread,
always-
right? Like Richard was waiting on PulseChain so long and is not giving us information, and this is then already like putting this heat in the community.
The void gets
You know
filled.
what?
Yeah.
We can even argue, because Richard Hart is so perfect, that he wants to shake out those lettuce hands, right? And does everything on purpose. So this could also be him. Who knows?
You're saying Big K?
I forgot.
Okay. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Well, I haven't forgotten this, and we have a little time left here. So in mentioning the show to Patrick last week or a few days ago, he did bring this up as a topic that he may like to discuss this with you, and that is the best way to get shares. Patrick, would you like to take that off and discuss with Big K or debate?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. So, especially like over the course of the last few weeks, like how I got to my T-share all-time high was mainly through the possibility to get HSI stakes through auctions. So what I did
Yeah.
is I took Hedron, you know, I got some of those HSI stakes. Those are old stakes. They have a good T-share amount. You know, some of them have even Hedron launch bonus multiplier, and as an average, I got like about 1/3 more shares than if I would just took my HEX and staked my HEX on my own.
Oh
Nice.
yeah,
More
like
shares,
I
obviously, yeah.
for sure agree with that. I was gonna say, I mean, there's even a further, if you want to play the game even further, there's a few times that I won like 50 T-share plus HEX friggin' auctions, and immediately ran them right back through to get the Icosa and sell that
Icosa.
down and rebuy the Hedron and then play in the game with the profits off the top. Like I mean, like that was a possible, like it got hard. It's gotten like less so, but for the first few months of it though, I'm not only gained T shares, but like I gained stablecoin too, So I was it was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie that that's it. And like you're right, it's about. I mean, if you're careful with the auctions, you got to make sure to do your math right to make sure you're purchasing things at the right price level. But that was, I mean, there's a part of me that was wondering if there was gonna be, because like the way that the auctions were coming around, I felt like there was a regular level of where the Hedron value at, like you said, about a third you could get off sometimes. And so I was like, I wonder if the HEX price is going to come down to balance out for how much of a arbitrage possibility. Because like I'm not a super genius master coder. I'm just clicking on some buttons here and I'm getting sick deals. So like if I'm getting sick deals, just clicking on some buttons, then like there's definitely some arbitrage opportunities that were available for, at the very least, the very early onset of that, and because of that, you can see in the like several of those, a lot of HSIs that were purchased were just run right back through, so I imagine that like that you'll see kind of like little pileups of like where HSI stakes, like would like every 90 days or so, you'll have a little spurt of auctions that are able to go live from people that are trying to cycle through.
Yeah, but it smoothes out, because like
over time it will smooth out. But I think
so
that like
much,
for the first year or so, you might be able to find a few like little pockets of like, oh, there's going to be a bunch of auctions right now because they were ones that went through.
Yeah, let me talk about that a little bit more, because I would also like to give your audience, Cabana, a little more inside strategy to that. So first of all, I would recommend to use the site hedron.today in order, not icosa.pro, because hedron.today gives you just a better user interface in my point of view, and it's less likely that you just miss the line or something like that, and then you put like or that you put another zero which you don't want to, and then you overpay 10x, for example. So that first, and then another strategy could be that you yourself are getting the stakes to the auction, and doing that. One nice strategy I gave like to my German community was, guys, do that at a time when America sleeps over the weekend, and then 24 hours later you might get less competition.
I noticed that shit. Like every time I was up late for a while because there'd be good shit would be coming. I'd be like, oh great. I'd see him coming up, and I'd be like, I'm gonna have to call my wife and be like, yo, I'm gonna be up tonight. I got some auctions. I'm gonna be
You stand up like at 5 a.m. in the morning.
I did that a few times.
Experiences too.
Where did the time go, kind of thing. Yeah.
It for sure worked to y'all's advantage, because there was a few different times when I was bidding that I straight up I fell asleep like right in this chair. Like
Big K, I mean, I'm in the same time zone as you are, so it's not an advantage for me.
No, not you,
I just gave that as an
yeah.
advantage to our community. Yeah.
No, I for sure could tell people were doing that, because I was trying to. That's sneaky stuff. I like
it's
it.
Like, who is doing that at that time?
Yeah.
Who else is up?
Yeah. The K-line, since you guys are so involved in the HSA auctions, and I blew all my Hedron basically in the first 1 week or second week. If I look at the auctions, I always find something interesting that I would like to put some Hedron in, but I don't have anymore. Is the price to get those auctions than it was on the first day, for example?
Yeah, I mean that's hard to say because Hedron on the first day of the auction was like double the price.
Yeah, it was a little bit over, almost 3x the price. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends like where you count from.
Yeah, which I mean that's the nice thing about, I will say, because here's something that in crypto in general has been always tough to me, is that like before there was HEX, there wasn't anything in crypto land that was that exciting for me to like want to stack up and more of, regardless of the like the time period of it, so like I wasn't really that into, like I wasn't like, oh, I can't, like if I thought the market was going down, I wasn't like super excited to continue to stack Bitcoin or anything else, like, whereas now there's something that like I have I believe in long term, so like I'm super happy to continue to stack, even if I think that like, oh, this chart's still probably going to roll over in itself, or I'm probably still going to get better deals along the way. Like I'm still fine with that, so that is
Cabana, if you okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can continue.
You and me. Yeah, so Cabana, if you want to, we could also bring up my screen share, and then I explain to people with the screen share how to calculate that properly, that you are definitely not overpaying with your Hedron.
I would love to. I just don't see the screen that's being shared.
Yeah, because I'm just like in the background, I'm bringing it up by myself. Now everything is loaded here, because you would need to open up 3 things. You need to open up go.hex.com, hedron.today, and Uniswap as well. So
are you ready?
If you want to, you can already share. Yeah, I am ready already. Yeah, I am. So at first we go to go.hex.com, and then we find out how much hex we need for a 5555 T-share, which is a third of the actual T-share price. So if I go with 8,500, I have 99.6, so 8,800 and
just ballpark it.
Now we know that 8,528 hex is giving us 1 T-share. All right, good. Then we go to Uniswap, and we put the 8,528 hex in there, and then we look up how much Hedron is is this giving us? And here we say one thing here, +8 means hundreds millions, +9 means a billion. So if you see like +9 here, it would be 1.4 billion, +8 means 139 million. Let's go with 140 million here because easier. And then we go to Hedron.today, we go to browse auctions. Yeah, there they are. And here, for example, that's a perfect example here. 30 minutes left, nearly 1 T-share. So as we know, we can bet until little less than 140 million Hedron in order to make a better deal, because we need this amount of hex in order to get 1 T-share for ourselves today. So as long as you bet less than 140 million Hedron for this one, and we can look it up in 30 minutes again, then you make a better deal by getting this HSI stake compared to staking the hex on your own.
And then one thing that Patrick is not mentioning is that, because of people like KSB Line here, everybody else is losing the auction because KSB Line knows exactly what he's doing. And I had to put in a lot of bits to get some of those auctions. And you have your Etherscan open and it's 21 gray right now. So this is then, I guess, the fourth factor that you have to have in mind, the gas price. Maybe you have to do 2 or 3 or 4 bits to actually win the auction.
I don't have Hedron in my onboarding account, because otherwise I would have shown you right now how much a bit would cost, because it's not much. It's like a dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put like, usually I'd think like a bit, one that I might get caught in for a while, you might spend 20, 30 bucks on, so you want to try and figure that in.
Mm-hmm. And then, for example, if you try to get your auctions for an average of under 100 million Hedron per T-share, then you definitely make like a big deal, a good deal.
Yep.
Yeah, like about 30%, the third up to 40% better than compared staking those hex on your own.
And Michael Light, he is only right if he is saying, well, this is money that could have went to hex and we want to suck up all the energy. But in real life, we have a lot of products and, everything is interchanging money, which is other. So I don't think it's price negative. I think it's just not,
not only that,
the money's not going to Hedron.
You have to remember that it's not just not price negative, but like if there is an actual, like this, like, if you can make money running, by creating HSI stakes for, and make enough ICOSA to make more than, the value, it's like that ceiling. When early on, when the ceiling price was high, people were creating quite a few HSI stakes, 5, we're getting the extra bonus with that. So like, it definitely, by the metrics, you can see that there was a crap ton of hex stakes that were created, when this, through this program. So.
And that is that. Yeah, we're creeping over an hour here. What is left? Thank you, Patrick, for that visual demonstration. For those who are only listening, I suggest you go back and take a look at it. It was quite helpful probably to a few of you out there who may have yet to delve into the auction process. Just wanted to wrap up with a couple items here. So bear market, all that stuff, and the Million Pulse Tour, we're still waiting. One day. But there is another event coming up, guaranteed in a matter of months. It's the HEX Cruise and Black Hexagon. What can you tell us about it? Is there still room? How many Hexagons are on board? What's going on with it?
Sure. So right now we have about 70 confirmed guests on the HEX Cruise. Somewhere around 76, but we'll know for sure after we pass that February 8th deadline for the first set of payments. Right now, the inventory on the boat is really, really low. I was looking it up today because we got a couple more requests, and there are very, very few rooms left. And because of that, the price has jumped up a lot from when most of us booked. What I expect to happen, what I think will happen, is that on February 8th, that's the deadline. So Royal Caribbean, anybody could have booked this cruise, right? Through me, through the website, through any kind of way. And if they did it before now, then they only paid a deposit. And that's just to hold their room until February 8th. When the 8th comes up, I believe that a lot of rooms will go back into inventory. You know, people book cruises a year in advance, and sometimes, you know, things just don't work out and they can't come. And so once the cruise line can actually identify how many rooms they have left, then we'll
buy the dip.
Yeah, then we'll get a better a price range. Right now, according, you know, to the website, it's like almost sold out. So the price is like really, really high. So I would say if you're interested in coming, wait to around after the 8th and then contact me, or go and look on the Royal Caribbean website so you can see what the prices are. You do want to book with us, though. You do want to book with the group so that you can actually be a part of the group. By being a part of the group, you get access to our group dining, to our private cocktail party, to our HEX Cruise t-shirts, and different little incentives that we have just for the group.
There's a cocktail party?
There is a cocktail party, as long as we meet our minimum number, which actually I'm not even going to say that. It's going to be a cocktail party, because even if we don't meet our minimum number, me and RG have already talked about making sure that we just cover the additional costs to make sure that we can keep our party going or whatever.
Outstanding.
So, yeah. So the cruise is April 24th through the 28th. It's a Royal Caribbean cruise. It leaves out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, going to the Bahamas. 4 days, all inclusive, wonderful food. I've been doing a lot of streams lately, and I did one yesterday with KG, and he had never been on a cruise before. And he was like, you know, how does that work with the food and all that? I was like, if you've never been on a cruise and you enjoy eating, like, that's where you need to be.
If you're trying to lose weight, don't go.
But I was like people don't realize that they treat you so well. Like when you go into the main dining room, right? And they bring you out this fancy menu, and you're thinking, oh, okay, I've been to restaurants like this, you know, let me just order, you know, one entree, one side. Absolutely not. On the cruise, you can order every single thing on the menu. You can try it, be like, I don't like this one. I'll take a double of the filet mignon. I'll take a double of the lobster. It's whatever you desire. Every dessert, your wish is their command. So I love cruises because it's like a big hotel that we're all, you know, stuck in together. It's not like you're staying at this hotel and you're staying at this hotel, and we have to coordinate dinner times, and the group's too big, so y'all can't come. It's the perfect meetup for the way that we like to do things.
And our
So
meetups
after
has
that, we
been
will all
great.
be bigger stakers. After the cruise, we will all be bigger stakers.
We will have all-time high weight. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
$7 aBit, $7.
we're waiting on that. I'm still working on that in the future, but it will come. And our events do exactly that, right? Us Hexicans, it makes us stronger. We are getting validation of the things that we already know, but there we can also meet other community members. And then, you know, sometimes it leads to getting more involved, you know, even more, because I think, Kellen, you were mentioning that Hex Nurse, the wife of Hexologist, like, she didn't care about Hex too much until she came to one of our events, and then she was all about community and saw what Hexologist is so passionate about. And that's why I want to invite all the Hexicans out there to come to our events, and especially the HEX Cruise, because it's going to be amazing. To all the other events, it's a lot of planning, and you know, you have to maybe put a little bit effort in for yourself, so you find the right group, because like we cannot accommodate everybody, but on a cruise it's gonna be possible. And then there is something that Black Hexican has not mentioned yet, which is the experiences that we are working on right now, right?
Yeah, the excursions. So if you have ever been on a cruise, then typically there are a couple port days. One of the port days is called Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and that's a private island that the cruise line owns. And so it's just essentially a really beautiful beach. You get off the boat, you go hang out, get you a cabana, jet ski, whatever you want to do. The second day that we get off the boat is in Nassau, Bahamas. And in Nassau, it's, you know, more of a city, right? So you have all these different vendors that offer everything from swimming with pigs to deep sea fishing, to jet skis, like anything you could think of, you can do. And so we have pre-selected a few of these activities. That way, if you do want to take part in one of these activities, you can do it with one of your favorite content creators. Like KSB Lion is going to be swimming with the pigs. So if you want to go hang out with the lion and swim with pigs, then you can sign up on the website to do that. Another thing that I always forget to mention, and I'm glad that you kind of brought it up earlier, Cabana, you know, if there was an award for onboarding, right? There are awards. There are awards for all kind of content creation, for the funniest streamer, for the most alpha, for the most consistent, all these different categories that we have created inside of the Hexy Awards. Go to ksb.tv, place your vote for your favorite content creators, and then on the HEX Cruise at our cocktail party, we plan to live stream the cocktail party so that we can announce the winners of the Hexy Awards live on the ship. So really want to get some more votes in, really want to see, you know, Cabana and Big K. I think Big K, I think you got nominated for like Life of the Party or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I may or may not have nominated you.
Yeah, so I want to see, you know, some of these people. There's 145 people in the room right now. I want to say there's barely like 200 votes in. We should at least be able to get 500, you know, 1,000 votes. There are tons of Hexicans. So please go to ksb.tv and place your vote for the Hexy Awards.
That's
And
right.
swimming with the pigs
Cabana.
Swimming with the pigs is definitely something that
right
you
now.
want to do. It has always been a dream of our team, Crypto Sparbuch. And now I want to show you how it was like for us to swim with the pigs last year when we were at the Bahamas. It was in between of the 5555 tour when we took some days off. So let me show you guys. It's just a 1-minute clip. So let's see. It's just been in the water, swimming with the pigs. Here they are. Look at them.
You gotta be careful too; they'll bite.
So, how would the guy from Germany, a pizza maker, addicted to drugs and alcohol, divorcing the wife, end up here swimming with pigs? It's actually really, really easy. HEX.com made that possible. We earn 38% APY every single year. Make $10,000. That's all on top of it. I love my life right now. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard, for building this community and making all of that possible. Look, this guy is even swimming with his jacket. $1,000 jacket, he doesn't care because he likes to swim with the pigs. Water too, beautiful. Dan, come here.
Wow.
A lot of fun. I guess I can just invite you to come to the cruise and experience that yourself. Just hanging out with the Hexicans is amazing, and this time doing it on a boat with great weather, you know, with a cocktail in the hand, being probably in the pool or the sea swimming with the pigs. You must do that at least once in your life.
There you go. I can't wait. This is going to be outstanding. Were the pigs friendly? I mean,
Yeah,
they'll bite.
You're right. They are biting. They are biting. But you know, when they need to swim, you know, then it's easy to push them away.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hex Cruise. What else? Because we like to shill our fellow Hexicans on here. Oh yeah. So we've shilled a book before, and it was from Mr. I think it was Mark Wild. So we have another book to shill. Black Hexican. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. So here's our book, our first little book that we got published on Amazon. My husband wrote it. My daughter and I did all the illustrations. And it looks like my daughter is peeking at me right now. So I'm going to try and get through this real quick. But basically, my husband had been writing a fiction book series, right? We homeschool our kids. We, for the most part, supplement all of their curriculum. We provide all their education support or whatnot. And so he was writing this fiction book series. And as he was writing it, he was sending me little sections of it so that I could read it with my daughter, kind of see how she liked it, what needed to be changed, was she understanding it? And as we were doing this, I started, using all these crypto words that we only really use online, and we don't realize that our real friends and family don't understand what we're talking about. Like, oh, that's just FUD or FOMO or, HODL, just all these random terms. And every time she would look at me like I was a boomer, like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And so I asked my husband, I was like, hey, do you think that you could, like create like a definitions book? In my mind, I was thinking this would be like the table of contents at the end, of the fiction book series. But as he started creating all these definitions, they were good. Like it stood alone. I started reading all these words with my daughter, and she was understanding, and we were having conversations about staking, about smart contracts, and she was really starting to understand all this different terminology that we use. So we decided to make an ABC crypto book, and I can probably open it up so you can just kind of see like an example of one of the pages. I don't know if you could see that.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, it's just a terms and definition book. I find it really useful when you're educating your kids, but also any of your onboards, like new people coming into crypto, because
crypto for dummies for adults.
They very rarely understand a lot of the terminology that is commonly used in the space. Like they'll watch the stream, but they'll hear words that they really just don't understand. So I love the book. I hope that you guys love the book. We'd appreciate your support, even if you just go to Amazon and click on the link and maybe give it some stars. Of course, I would love for you to buy it, but really just to help the algorithm, I even just appreciate you starring the book so that we can get, better search results and whatnot.
And there we have it. All right. Well,
awesome, man.
We're going to close here, but I can't close, without asking aBit for a price prediction, since we've done this the past few weeks on the show and I haven't talked to aBit yet. What will be the high for HEX in 2023?
Well, price predictions are so hard to make. On the 5555, I was always talking about $7 HEX, $7 to the moon, something like this we were saying, and it did not came true. I was a moon boy back then, and the bear market has taught me a valuable lesson. So I'm trying to stay away from price targets as much as I can. But since you asked me and I have to answer, I would go with something like, what is the price, the timeline again here?
Just how high can we go in 2023? Go up and high? Even come back down. Yeah.
Obviously, it depends on PulseChain. It depends on the documentary. It depends on Richard Hart's behavior, for example, and a lot of externalities, right? But how high can we go? We can go higher than you can ever imagine, because HEX is such an amazing product. I will stick to, let's say, 50 cents.
Nice. So back up near all-time highs. Black Hexagon, we haven't asked you yet. Do you have a just fun speculation before we go?
By when? What's the
just
timeline?
anytime this year. How high can we go?
Oh, yeah, that's difficult, because it literally has to do with whether or not PulseChain launches and when PulseChain launches.
It better launch, but yeah.
In my opinion, but I think by the end of the year, we could be back towards like 10-15 cents.
That's my ballpark.
Yeah.
Yep. Patrick, we haven't heard from you yet on this. Do you have a fun little speculative prediction for how high HEX can go in 2023 before we go?
Yeah, I mean, a conservative prediction would be 7.5 cents, and 12 cents is also possible in my point of view.
Yeah, I think I've said 12, and we usually are the conservative ones, right? Historically. So yeah, and I think
but I don't think that HEX will make like a new all-time highs, and I also don't think that HEX will go up to the level where we sacrificed for Pulse or for PulseX.
Next year, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean next year. Yeah, if we talk about like 2024. Then we can make other predictions. And
never know.
And if we talk about 2025, there I see like new all-time highs coming. It's crypto goes in those cycles. Sometimes the cycle is a little bit longer, sometimes it's a little bit shorter. But I'm pretty confident then that we saw the bottom or that the bottom comes within the next 3 months. So great time if you're new to crypto and start your dollar cost averaging right now, in my point of view. And if it already was the bottom, so bottom is already in, maybe, I don't know for sure, I have no crystal ball, then we will see, in my point of view, something similar to 2019, where we saw a breakout of the crypto market, but kind of a fake breakout, that it comes down to the ground again, and then from there we start the real next bull run. So I don't think that we go like from bear to bull immediately. And another prediction what I have for this year is that if PulseChain and PulseX are launching this year, what I'm pretty convinced on, what I still think it will be the case, then I also think that both prices will be lower than the average sacrifice price.
And there you have it. Big K, what was yours? Just refresh my memory.
It was pretty close to yours. I was saying 10 to 15 cents.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
when we were down at a penny and a half, I was like, I think we could 10x at best. You know, from the bottom. You know, it's best. But yeah, it all depends on all that stuff that you're saying.
Yeah.
Lots of
And
variables,
maybe we can-
ins, outs.
we have a highest of stakes coming out at some point, perhaps first quarter. Still targeting first quarter, Big K.
Yeah, I mean, Big
Yeah.
K, you should know about that, right? What's wrong
I
here?
should,
I mean,
shouldn't
give
I?
us some expectation.
I
Hey,
was in the
come on.
movie, and they keep me relatively in the dark. I mean, I like, as soon as I can tell you where to click on to where we're going to be watching it, you will all hear first. I will tell you as soon as I know, but I don't know nothing, and I hope to hear. You know, eventually we'll know soon.
Yeah. So I was saying we have that, and we have possibly a PulseChain launch. PulseChain launch, I think all bets are out the window, especially for, you know, Wix. Things will get crazy. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna say might. I'm gonna say they will, and that's gonna be fun and exciting. And we've have waited 2 years for it, so can't wait.
Yeah, that is an interesting, you know, wild card figure in all of it. You know, if the
animal spirits
but
may very well.
But
take
you know,
over.
there's right. Like, I could see the price still, whatever the average sacrificer. I mean, there's a lot of people that got, or, you know, larger sacrificers that got bonuses that I think the price will balance out for. So,
yeah.
You know.
Good stuff. All right, well, let's go around the room real quick before we go. Big K at Big Kurkowski is where we can find you on Twitter. Where else can we find you?
Twitter, Telegram, also the highest of stakes. You know, check it out. Eventually,
we want to check it out.
Like, we want to. I know.
Yeah.
Go check. Just like build the hype. No. Where else? That's about it right now. That's about it for the moment. I'm laying low. Hopefully, once the you know, the movie thing is moving, we'll also be moving.
Perhaps a premiere on the HEX Cruise. Haha. So.
When Big K coin?
Oh, I am good on
the
all
big
that.
coin.
Everybody keeps giving me so many free
big
coins.
coin
At the time, I just became a trillionaire in communist coins. I never was a trillionaire before. Now I am. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
Huge fan. So that's great.
So
feeling.
Of course, you were a trillionaire before. You're a trillionaire. Sorry, Big K, to say that, but you're a trillionaire since the end of 2019.
In T-shares.
In shares.
Yeah.
Shares. Yes. You make a good point. So you make a good point. I like it.
So
May the
don't
heart
feel
be
so
with you.
poor, bro. So you are a multi-trillionaire since almost 3 years.
Don't worry, I don't.
Black Hexkin, you told us about the book. Where else can we find you?
Yes, mainly on Twitter, Black Hexkin, BLAKC. I think my @ is just being black, of course, BLAKC. Main place to find me and everything that I'm involved in is ksb.tv. If you want information on the cruise, it's hexcruise.com. But there are links to everything on ksb.tv.
There you go. aBit _capital Hex. Where can we find you?
So I have the third best domain in crypto. Hex.com is the first, HEX Cruise is the second, and pumphex.com is the third best domain. That's where I publish all my stuff. It has been a little bit low lately, and that's why I put something else into the chat. aBit_ Deutsch is my German channel. So the guy who is saying that he is aBit Hex, that's exactly me, aBit_Hex Deutsch. Please go there and subscribe as well, so we get some more eyes for the Germans as well, just to help the algorithm. Please subscribe there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw that handle in chat a couple weeks ago, and I was curious if that was really you and not a scammer. So thank you for answering that. So, Patrick, KSB_Lion, where can we find you?
Yes. So if people want to chat with me on Telegram, then it's at KSB_Lion. And additional things to follow would be nice if you could also go to Twitter, to follow KSB TV on Twitter. And if you want to also Crypto Sparbuch, although Crypto Sparbuch is like our German Twitter account, so where we only post in the German language, but still, it helps your hex back as well to that we can get in front of more eyeballs. And then it's the YouTube channel KSB TV for the English stuff, or the German YouTube channel Crypto Sparbuch as well, where we are usually doing one live per week in order to educate all the non-English speaking people from the middle of Europe.
Nice. Well, thank you. And thank you, chat. You guys have been great as always, a little lively at times, but y'all appear to have settled down and are hugging it out, those who need hugs. So good for you. What's up, Marion? Happy midweek to you. Well, that about wraps us up for this week. I will be traveling this weekend, hence the show today. But we will be back next week, hopefully on Friday. I will be remote from somewhere, no, not on a beach, but in the middle of America, perhaps Missouri, perhaps Arkansas. Any Hexicans out there, give me a shout on Twitter. I might be able to hop by for a drink or meal. And looking forward to it. Thank you again, chat. Thank you, Big Kurkowski, Black Hexican, aBit Hex, and KSB. I want to say Patrick, but I'll say KSB Lion.
You can say Patrick as well. So with
Patrick Hex Lion,
no
because he's got the hex right beside his head. So there you go. All right.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
It's still, I wanted to rebrand myself a little bit, to put out more the KSB, Crypto Sparbuch, the thing what we are standing for, and wanted to go away a little bit of the hex in the name. Also, for example, like just imagine you go in a different Telegram group, then it's definitely better if your name handle is KSB_Lion than like Hex Lion, and then you start like talking about hex. Everybody would just know, okay, this guy is a Hexican, he just wants to infiltrate us or something like that. So
when KSB coin, that's what they probably think.
Let's bring that out like somewhere this year. No, I'm just joking. We are
if you think people are triggered now, just wait. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody on the panel. Outstanding discussion. And